Welcome back. We have Dr. John Hovannessian here on behalf of Harvard Eye Associates. Well, welcome back again.
So good to see you, and I'm a little sad this is our final segment together, Lisa, all these great years through the pandemic, through so much change, and we'll miss you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I will miss doing this, but you know, riding off into the sunset to do some other things that I've always wanted to do. So.
And that's great. That's great.
Thank you. So we've talked to you about a variety of different things, of course, implants, LASIK, eye surgeries, eye diseases, just the whole gamut.
Yes.
And so today we're actually going to talk about a couple of different things that are really regarding some implants.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about it.
So probably the most common condition that we treat is a condition that happens to almost everybody as we have birthdays, and that is cataract. Now this typically happens to the age group that is your viewers here in Laguna Woods Village. And in simple terms, cataract is a clouding of the internal lens of the eye. We're all born with a lens in the eye, just like a camera has a lens, and it gradually becomes cloudy, and when it reaches a point where it's affecting the way we see, we replace it with an artificial lens implant. And in recent years, we have not just one flavor of implant, but a whole bunch of different technology that people can choose to give them the kind of vision they want. Isn't that wonderful?
It is great.
So a lot of people going through cataract surgery end up seeing better than they ever did before, and having less need for glasses. There's a cost for this, and we're really careful to make sure that, you know, we don't want anybody to feel like they're being sold to. We don't want anybody to spend money that's not right for them. But it's an important decision, because whatever lens implant they receive, it's going to set their vision the rest of their life. Their eyes do not change for the rest of their life in any meaningful way, and so we expect that to set their vision.
You know, tell me a little bit about some of the costs. Now, I know people might say, well, I'm only going to go with whatever is covered by insurance, but sometimes that's not always the case, because insurance doesn't really give you that much to have something that is the latest and greatest. So does Harvard Eye provide opportunities for people?
Right. So, you know, we want everyone to choose whatever technology is right for them. We recognize not every technology is affordable to every person, and so we think that understanding is the most important step, so that you can kind of choose based upon what's right for you. And thankfully, insurance covers the biggest cost of having cataract surgery, which is the surgery itself. There's an operating room, and there's nursing, and there's an anesthesiology team and a group of technicians, a lot of equipment we have to use. Thankfully, all that's covered. So the costs that people are choosing to pay out of pocket are just that extra cost should they choose an advanced technology lens.
All right, good to know, because I think that was important for people to understand what is covered and what may not be covered.
You bet.
So now the three things that we're going to talk about is
kind of three categories.
Yeah, three categories. So pronounce the first one.
Yeah, Panoptix is one lens. Synergy is, you know, they're from two competing companies. One is Alcon, one is Johnson & Johnson Vision. Both great companies, both great products. And I want to be clear here that our goal is not to promote a particular product, but just so people understand and can understand by name. The blue, you know, so unfortunately, this is an oversimplification, because it's really hard to simplify this into a single picture, a single slide, but it kind of conveys some of the ideas. So, you know, our vision, there's three common areas that we use every day. One is distance vision, seeing the mountains, seeing the road signs, watching television. Really anything beyond arm's length is considered distance vision for us. Your distance vision for me as I sit here. Arm's length is your car dashboard, your computer monitor on your desktop computer. Things that, you know, like the shelf in the grocery store is typically at arm's length, right? It's not here. Here is where we read. It's where we hold our phone, our magazine, or whatever we're looking at up close. That's near vision. And so what this chart is intended to do is kind of show how these different lenses can reach these different types of vision. So the first in blue, those two names, the Panoptix and Synergy, are two what we call trifocal lenses. They're designed to give all three of those ranges of vision. And it is a miracle, because better than any other technology, they help people be free of glasses. There is a downside, or at least a consideration with it. That's why I put a star to the right there to remind us that some people can get a little bit of starbursts with these lenses when they drive after dark. Point sources of light, like headlights, can cause a little, they can cause circular rings around the light that they see, and they can cause you know, what we call glare, which is like a starburst type effect.
But can't you get some sort of a driving glasses to wear to combat that?
They can help a little bit, but they don't eliminate it because it's part of the lens. So first off, we only are able to offer these lenses to people who have quite healthy eyes. If you've got, I'm going to say, significant dry eye or significant other problems in the eye, we may not suggest it at all, this type of lens, even though it's so appealing. Because what happens is when you combine one type of limitation, the starbursts, with another type of limitation, dry eye, it can really not do very well. So not everybody's a candidate for that first blue category of lens. The second category, what we call extended depth of focus lenses, and two common lenses now are Vivity and Symphony. Symphony you have to distinguish from Synergy in the first category.
Right.
But those two lenses can kind of reach two adjacent ranges of focus. So if it's focused for distance, you can also see arm's length. And we can shift it so that it can be arm's length and near if a person desires. Or we can do one eye for distance to intermediate and one eye for arm's length and near. So there's lots of creative things we can do with that.
So what would they do with the third one then? Would they wear glasses?
Yeah, so in the third category where we have what we call toric lenses, which are for people with astigmatism, or the light adjustable lens, technically we're only targeting one range. So again, you could do distance and near, but typically we're targeting one, and let's say if we targeted distance as we're showing on the screen here, you'd probably wear glasses for up close vision.
Okay.
So why would you choose that? Why would you pay extra for that lens? Well, you won't reach that with a basic lens implant if you have any meaningful amount of astigmatism, because astigmatism, which about 70% of us have, will make things blurry at all distances.
Yes.
And you want to correct it with your lens implant or some other manner when you do cataract surgery, if you want to have at least some range.
Right.
And then, not to overcomplicate it here, but the light adjustable lens is a particularly valuable lens we've talked about before for people who have, particularly if they've had prior LASIK or other abnormalities of their eye where it's hard to know exactly what implant is going to be right for them before surgery. With the light adjustable, we can adjust it after surgery. So even though it only kind of gives one category of vision shown here, it may still be the very best lens for certain people.
Right.
So it is simple on the chart, more complicated in the real world, like many things medical. But we think that the best way to sort of figure out, to demystify this for patients, is to understand their particular eye, come in for an examination and evaluation, and then look at their eyes and then help them understand what choices they have so they can put that together with both the costs and the lifestyle considerations. Right.
And we've talked to a number of surgeons and doctors from your facility, and it seems like you have quite a few people to combat everything that's happening with everyone. So tell me, just before we head out, what are some of the doctors, like what is your main focus?
Well, our focus is the eye. That part is clear, as implied in the name Harvard Eye, and we cover all the specialties. We have limited services for children under age 8. That's just not a population that we have historically treated. But for adults and older children, we do really everything. Our focus is more on treating the abnormal eye, although we have lots of great doctors who do general eye care if you just need glasses or contact lenses. So we get a lot of referrals from eye doctors in the area for challenging cases, and we love meeting new people and love taking care of our neighbors here in Orange County. And
you also have a cosmetic doctor too, don't you?
We do. Yeah, we have just some great offerings there with a couple of doctors who treat cosmetic conditions in our practice. So it's been a wonderful experience to help people with their eyes. The eyes are so important to our existence, and we need to have confidence in who's taking care of our eyes. So we believe if we treat people like family, they will do well, and thank goodness we have such great patients who refer all their friends and relatives.
Yeah, oh great, and you have so many different options to choose from because technology is changing all the time. So
it is.
All right, well thank you so much. It was very nice to see you again.
It's a pleasure, and thank you to your wonderful service to Laguna Woods Village over all these years. You've been a real treasure for this community through the pandemic and through all those tough times. It's been such a pleasure working with you. Thank you.
Thank you. If you want more information about anything that we've discussed, you can always go to harvardeye.com 949-951-2020. We'll be right back.